Okay.
Do you have any plans to visit the border?
We've been to the border. So this whole thing about the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I mean, I don't understand the point that you're making. I'm not discounting the importance of the border.
Well, I know Republicans have certainly come at you on this, but Democratic Congressman Cuellar has a border district, has said to you and the president, come. You need to see this.
Listen, I care about what's happening at the border. I'm in Guatemala because my focus is dealing with the root causes of migration. There may be some who think that that is not important, but it is my firm belief that if we care about what's happening at the border, we better care about the root causes and address them.
Let's bring in Louisiana Senator John Kennedy. Good morning to you, Senator.
Good morning.
Good morning. So everyone's been asking, when is she going to go to the border? It's been 76 days since she was appointed as the border czar, yet she's yet to go to the border, and Lester Holt pressed her on it. What do you think about her answer? She said, we have been, and then he pressed and said, no, you really haven't been.
Well, I think most Americans can see what's going on here. The Biden administration believes in open borders. They may say otherwise, but most of the members of the Biden administration that I've talked to believe that vetting people at the border is racist. They support legal, illegal, and legal immigration. Most Americans support legal immigration, but they don't support illegal immigration. But I think the reason the vice president went to Guatemala and met with President Giammattei is to offer him billions and billions of American taxpayer dollars to try to make his country better. And with no disrespect, but that's like giving whiskey and car keys to a teenager. President Giammattei is an authoritarian. He presides over a corrupt administration. They're probably going to steal the money. Corruption is rampant. The drug cartels run things. And frankly, President Giammattei wants his people to come to America because they come here, they get through illegally, they get a job, and they send money back home, which helps the GDP of Guatemala. Now, you don't have to be Einstein's cousin to figure all this out.
Senator, her answer was so inappropriate and so inadequate, I think it needs to be underlined. She said, I didn't go to Europe either, and then giggles, and then says, we've been to the border. No, you haven't. I mean, it's as if she didn't pre-think it. It reminds me of when she was a candidate and failed so precipitously. But in the big picture, they can't be happy with what's happening. 170,000 people coming across the border, military bases being converted, other structures being put up, money's pouring out. In one way, it's a simple answer to say they want open borders, but I think it's more complex than that. Are they just incompetent?
No, I don't. I thought at first they were, but I'm convinced now that they believe in open borders. And in some part, it's because some members of the Biden administration just think they're sympathetic. They think anybody who wants to come to America should be able to. Others take a more cynical view. It's about votes and power. Sure. It's dangerous, I can tell you that. We have people from all over the world, not just Nicaragua and Guatemala and El Salvador. We have people from all over the world trying to make their way to Mexico so they can come into the United States of America. And we don't have the slightest idea who they are, what they're going to do when they get here. And that's not a very prudent way to run an immigration system. I don't know anybody else in the world who does it that way except the United States of America.
Yep, we're #1 in that department. Hey, Senator, your colleague from West Virginia, Joe Manchin, is getting a lot of publicity because over the weekend he wrote an op-ed for a local paper out in West Virginia where he said that he would vote against the For the People Act, which was, which would essentially federalize all elections, flies in the face of the Constitution. And the headlines have been, he's really gotten baked. Over at CNN, they say Joe Manchin just totally screwed Democrats. Washington Post on the opinion page, Joe Manchin retreats to fantasy land and sticks America with the consequences. You know, he's been very clear from the get-go. He does not want to blow up the filibuster because if you blow up the filibuster, you essentially blow up the Senate.
Well, here's what I think's going on, and you're correct. Senator Manchin, they've hit him with everything but a chair. They've called him every name in the book. They haven't started talking about his mama yet, but they probably will. Here's what I think's going on. This isn't a news flash. The leadership of the Democratic Party took a hard left and kept driving. There are two groups in charge. The wokeristas, who have contempt for America, and the managerial elite, who have contempt for the American middle class. I refer to them as the vanilla soy extra foam latte crowd. Senator Manchin's not a member of either one of those groups, and he's been around this place a long time. And my experience with Joe is he's intelligent. He exercises power maturely, and he understands that if we get rid of the filibuster, it will blow up the Senate. You don't think that the minority party, in this case Republicans, if Schumer gets rid of the filibuster, are just going to go quietly into that good night. Every reaction has an equal and opposite reaction.
Right. You guys might leave out. You might storm out and not give them a quorum.
The interesting thing, Brian, is that Senator Schumer doesn't quite know how to handle this. You know that feeling when you get up in the morning and you've got to go to the bathroom, but you don't want to get out of bed, you know? That's kind of where Chuck is. He just doesn't quite know what to do here. And if I were Chuck,
I'd get out of bed.
I'd get out of bed. And when one door closes, he's not going to bust the filibuster. When one door closes, sometimes you need to get a hammer and nails and make sure that SOB stays shut and move on. That's what Chuck ought to do.
You know, we always learn a lot about you, Senator, during this visit. We thank you very much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next week, sir.
As he runs for re-election.
Thank you.
6 more years.